Are we going to keep staring at each other, or are you going to invite me in?
But, someone sent you. What's their name?
May I come in, Mr. MacPherson? What I have to say will appeal to the detective in you.
I mean, I no longer do detective work. But do come in if you want to.
Sorry, I didn't introduce myself. Blake. Sophia Blake. Mr. MacPherson, I need you to investigate a case that is dear to my heart. Just name your price.
I haven't investigated in a long time, miss.
I really need your investigative skills. I will pay all your expenses.
You mentioned an interesting offer. What exactly was it?
Mr. MacPherson, you've been in Paris for some time and I need your help. Only you can investigate this case. I'm ready to pay anything.
Could you give me any more details about the case? At the moment, it all seems rather nebulous.
You probably haven't heard about the Orphée case, Mr. MacPherson. The newspapers have kept it quiet. A couple of American tourists were brutally murdered. They were my sister and her husband. I want to know the circumstances surrounding their death.
These murders were committed in Paris. Do you know whereabouts in Paris?
A hotel in a chic part of Paris in the 8th district. The Hôtel Orphée. They arrived there about a week ago. They were found dead in their hotel bedroom.
Are the police handling the case? If they are, it may well complicate things. Do you know the name of the inspector in charge of the investigation?
The detective in charge of the investigation is named Lebrun. You know, the police are the same in every country, Mr. MacPherson. Whether you're in New York or in Paris, you mustn't be in a hurry. Lebrun is no exception.
How did they die? Are you sure they were murdered? It may just have been a terrible accident.
The Whites were found decapitated in their hotel room, Mr. MacPherson.
I don't get it. I've never worked for you before, not here nor in New York. Yet you come to me and ask me to find your sister's murderer. Why me, Miss Blake?
Your reputation, Mr. MacPherson. I find your nickname spooky to be charming. I have friends who know people at the Pinkerton Agency in New York. The suspicion surrounding you is totally unfounded, naturally. You are the man I need for this investigation. Discreet, capable of seeing beyond appearances.
To be honest, I'm not sure I should take the case. Firstly, because where there's a murder, there's a murderer. Inspector Lebrun is in a better position to arrest murderers than I am.
Mr. MacPherson, I have no faith in the police. The 8th District Police Station, Lebrun especially, is trying to hush up the affair. All they care about is keeping their reputation as a chic area.
I don't want to seem overly interested, but why don't we settle my fees before we go any further?
This case may take you several days. I'll give you 500 straight away and 500 per day of successful investigation.
Your offer is very reasonable. I accept.
I owe you a lot, Mr. MacPherson. Much more than the money I'm paying you.
Your sister and her husband, they were both American. What exactly were they doing in Paris?
I was supposed to meet them in Paris. You know, Mr. MacPherson, visiting Europe was my sister Ruby's childhood dream. With Mr. White, her wish came true. They were so very much in love.
You'd like me to begin right away. I think I have all the information I need to begin. You're sure you haven't forgotten anything?
The police didn't find any items of value in the room. Yet my sister and her husband traveled very comfortably, in luxury and with old family heirlooms. It was a passion they both shared.
I hope to have results quickly. I'll be in touch with you when I've made some progress in my investigation. Goodbye, Miss Blake.
I ask only one thing of you. Be discreet. The police must not suspect you are involved. If you'd like to meet me... Hello, what number can I dial for you?
I'm sorry to disturb you, miss. Can you connect me to the post office, please? I'd like to send a telegram.
Right away, sir.
Post telegraph, go ahead, please.
I'd like to send a telegram to New York, please. The addressee is one J. Wells of Pinkerton's National Detective Agency, number 57 Broadway. The message reads, "Need information on woman named Sophia Blake. Stop."
I've made a note of it. It will leave this morning. Done.
Gee, these suitcases are heavy.
And do not forget, young man, the elevator is still out of order.
Oh, brother.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to the Hotel Orphée. My name is Isidore Petit. What can I do for you?
Are you the manager? My name's MacPherson. I'm from the International Office of WAI, Worldwide American Insurance. I'm investigating events that took place in your hotel several days ago. The murders.
The insurance company. Perfect. The Whites left, shall we say, a rather substantial bill that really needs to be settled. You are here about the bill.
The bill? Yes, that's right. I've come to settle their hotel bill.
This bill is rather high. You are responsible for settling it. The total sum is exactly 2,500 francs.
I know there's been a murder, but I don't know any details. How did it happen?
That evening, somebody did not do their job properly. But what can I do? I cannot be everywhere at once. I shall be doubly careful from now on.
Were the Whites always alone in their room?
The Whites received no visitors during their stay here. They were adamant that they should not be disturbed, which is why I refused to give their number to a man who asked to see them the night before their murder.
This man is suspicious. Have you told the police about him?
Like every good citizen. Except that my memory is not what it was. I fear my description will be of no help in tracking this person.
With the description you've given me, I'll be able to draw him myself. I'm something of a painter, too.
You are looking for a description with which you are going to produce a sketch, is that it? Well, I cannot wait to see this. The man was French, Parisian, in fact. No spectacles, no. Small, dark, rather wide eyes beneath large, thick eyebrows. Wide mouth, thin lips, a boxer's nose, a solid build, a strapping lad. Typical working-class type. If you want any more information, contact the police directly. I'm afraid that I can do no more for you.
What can I get you, sir?
Give me a bottle of red.
Sir?
I would like to inquire about a couple of friends.
May I help you? What's the name?
White.
Oh, the Whites. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but the Whites are dead. They were found murdered in their room. An awful story.
That cannot be. The Whites? Dead?
Yes. Most unfortunate. Truly awful. Can I offer you a drink? They certainly were killed. It was the lady in the room next door who alerted the reception.
Do you have the name of the neighbor?
She's a regular at the hotel. People say she's a little eccentric. Ask at the reception desk of the Orphée. They'll be able to tell you her name.
What about the employees at the Hotel Orphée? Did you know them well?
The staff at the Hotel Orphée and myself do not really hang out together. Malek comes every now and again, but other than him, no, I don't know them.
Be a good guy. Tell me in detail what you saw that night.
I don't know any more than that. I know that Putty, the Hotel Orphée receptionist, was chewing the fat with Inspector Lebrun. He seemed to know quite a lot about the White case.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sir, aren't you on a case?
You again! Sir, I have nothing more to say to you.
Are you quite sure, Mr. Beauvais, that you have not seen him?
Yes, I'm sure. Go on, Mrs. Elway, go home. We will take care of this, I promise.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Beauvais. You're so kind. The next time I'm at Cézanne, I'll bring you back a nice bottle of red wine. That's a promise. Goodbye, then.
Goodbye. Ah, a little bottle of red. Come on, next. Can I help you?
My name is Gus MacPherson. I'm a private eye, private detective. I wanted to ask you if you'd be willing to answer a few questions and help me in my investigation on the Orphée murders.
A private dick. I see. Well, you'd better show me your license.
A license? Of course I have a license. It's back home right now. I can go and pick it up if you want to see it that much, but we'll waste a whole lot of time.
Where did you get this license? In Paris. Private eyes do not need papers. Everyone knows that.
You got me there. But I really am a detective, believe me. In fact, I've been living in Paris for quite some time. I just put my career as a detective on the back burner. but now it's gradually warming up.
Just checking. Always want to know who I'm dealing with. So, you're an American PI in Paris. And your client? American or Parisian?
It's just that my client pays me very well to keep silent. She's very fond of her privacy.
It's going to be hard to help you in these conditions. What if you were a little joker? Huh? The Orphe case is not in your league.
Just a helping hand so I can launch my investigation in the right direction. That way we will not get our lines crossed. I don't want to impede your work in any way.
Forget it. It is baking in here, isn't it? You would not happen to have anything to drink, would you? Just one for the road? Full of promises and empty-handed, huh?
I do happen to have a little something for you. An amazing bottle of red wine. You cannot say no to that, officer. Don't you feel a little thirsty?
Great! The private eye returns.
When I read the file, I noticed the name of a certain doctor, Frank Kaufner. What can you tell me about him?
Dr. Kaufner is our expert. Forensic scientist and above all, psychiatrist. The sort of guy who prefers the company of madmen and corpses to the likes of you and me.
You don't seem to be overly fond of Dr. Kaufner. Is there any particular reason for that?
The chief of police himself imposed Dr. Kaufner on us. It's not going to help matters any.
I've read the police report, but I'm sure you can tell me a little more. What are your impressions on the White case?
This case is pretty messy. A foul murder, unclear motive. If Inspector Lebrun needs a hand, he will ask me. For the time being, he is managing on his own like a big boy. That is all I know.
Am I right in thinking Inspector Lebrun is in charge of the investigation on the White case? Would it be possible to meet with him? That way we can compare our information.
He is not seeing anybody, just make a statement.
All right. Could you at least give him my name? MacPherson, Gus MacPherson, and tell him I need to see him as soon as possible.
You have a picture of the suspect? That is all Lebrun needs to go on.
Goodbye.
Yeah, right. Goodbye.
Dr. Kaufner's office, please.
It's over there, right at the end of the hall. Make sure you don't get lost.
Come in.
Dr. Frank Kaufner?
What can I do for you, sir?
I'm Gustav MacPherson. I've come here to ask you a few questions about the White case.
Tell me what you want to hear. So, you are investigating the incident at the Hotel Orphée?
Yes, Doctor. Your professional opinion on the murders.
Did Inspector Lebrun send you, Mr. MacPherson?
I'm a private eye.
A private detective? Then someone is showing an interest in the White's murder.
A person who wishes to remain anonymous is paying me to investigate.
We all have a reputation to protect.
Appearances can sometimes be deceptive, Dr. Kaufner. That's why I would like to clarify this situation by gathering as much information as possible.
I am at your disposal, Mr. MacPherson. How can I help you?
What can you tell me about the scene of the crime? The police have released very few details.
The man who committed this murder, and I stress the fact that he is a man, is probably quite overwhelmed at the present time. This crime was committed under the influence of a sudden impulse, without premeditation. His act is now haunting him. He is not himself.
And you think the motive for the murder was theft?
That is what the police say. But does the official version reflect Inspector Lebrun's true opinion? This murder could be the first in a long series of crimes.
What could be the motive of such a crime?
Love, hate, revenge. Those are the three reasons behind so much human bloodshed, Mr. MacPherson.
It's awful.
You are discovering the dark side of Paris, Mr. MacPherson. And do you have a suspect, Mr. MacPherson?
I'm on the same trail as the police. Only I am surer of my hunch.
It has been a most pleasant conversation, but unfortunately, I cannot afford you more time, Mr. MacPherson. I hope I have satisfied your curiosity.
You again! Sir, I have nothing more to say to you.
Sir?
The police have a suspect. I saw the inspector's report. What do you know about the man who spent the entire evening by the window?
That is certainly true. He was here on the night of the murder.
And he stayed there alone for the whole evening.
Now let me think. I saw him chatting for a while with Mallet.
Who is this Mallet?
Théo Mallet. Works at the Orphée. He's a lout.
Why is he a lowlife?
He likes to bet, and when you do, you have to pay your gambling debts. It's a vicious circle. Mallet is a bona fide con man.
Until what time did the man stay?
Now let's see if I can remember. He arrived at around 8 p.m., took a seat by the window, and dashed off just before the storm broke, at around 11 p.m.
Did you see what direction he went when he left?
I don't know. You cannot see outside from in here. You'd better check at the Orphée. Putty, the receptionist, will probably know. He was on duty that night.
And do you know where I might find this Mallet?
Mallet hangs out at the Alambic, a bistro in the 14th district. That is where he gambles away his wages.
Did you notice whether Mallet gave any money to this man?
No. It's the man who gave the money to Mallet. I remember, it was cash.
Did you see this man with the whites?
I have never seen the whites, under any circumstances. There's no way I would have noticed them with that man.
So these two men may have no connection to the whites' murder.
Sorry, but this is your investigation, not mine. I can only tell you the facts, nothing more.
Could you give me a description of this mysterious character?
You could draw him? That's really neat. I'll give you a description right now. He was tall, very tall, heavy, black mustache, square-faced, and dreadful eyes. Threatening even. A tough guy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sir?
Can you identify this man?
Yes, maybe. Yes, that's him.
Thank you.
You're welcome.